Reggie, what is your expectation as it relates to communication? I'm curious to know because I find that a lot of women nowadays expect a man to communicate, like be in constant communication. So you talked about the difference between how you grew up and how we grew up, and even the younger generation. What's your expectation if you're dating someone with intention? How frequently do you want to be in communication with them?
Frequently, I want to be in communication. So you're saying initially you meet and you started dating, and
I,
what that looks like, or
I mean, sure. Tell us what the initial looks like, and then how do you maintain that? What does communication look like?
oh, okay. Well, it was. I would say it went both ways, and yes, I'm a traditionalist from from childhood. Yeah, my father always taught me to be independent no matter what. As a female, right? He said, you can't expect men to take care of you, and he told me that at a very young age. Okay. But the other thing about that is, yes, I'm very independent, but also I knew that I also need my partner, whoever I'm dating, I need him to be the man that he has been
Hmm.
learning to grow up to be, and not to overpower that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not very sexy if I'm always in control.
No.
Yeah, right. I really, what attracts me to my husband is being, an alpha male, and being that he knows what he wants, and needs to do that and have the freedom to do that. And I'm fine with it. I mean, there's no like, we feel like we need to check in with each other throughout the day. It's nice to say hello, or we'll send a text, hi darling, love you, but I never expected a man to feel like that he needs to check in with me all day long for me to feel secure that we're, a couple.
Mm.
I wasn't that person. Now, I may have been a little different because I was in the military, so there was a lot of masculinity ways that I took over, in my own world, and I was always working. I mean, 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and then you had time to go out maybe one night a week. So there wasn't a lot of expectation to say, hey, you need to take me out every other day, or we need to see each other every day for this to be a real relationship. But as I got older, okay, now say with dating my husband, yeah, we saw each other every weekend, but during the weekday, we may talk once a day. But that was,
Mm.
I didn't expect him, to keep calling me because I was extremely busy, taking care of business. So I wanted to make sure I took care of my job and my responsibilities, so I could be present when we had time together. And that's when
Mm.
it feels great, because you actually can focus on the person when you're taking care of your business elsewhere, you know.
So it sounds like part of your success was, even with your, being raised military, being taught to be independent, but still understanding that there's a need, your words, there's a need to have a man that is still can be a leader, right? Like, yes, you have the ability to be independent and do things on your own, but still, it's like, well, I still need a man that's going to be like, yo, listen, and take that front running role.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Totally. Mhm.
and there's not your because my thing is I think a lot of women expect. So I'm very busy, right? Like a woman wouldn't even probably know a lot about me because I don't talk about like my accomplishments and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm very laid back. I let people get to know me. You know what I mean? I don't put that in their face, but most won't take the time. But it's like I have a lot going on and I'm working in my purpose. And you expect me to communicate with you throughout the day, every day. And if you don't, then you're not interested and she done moved on to the next guy. Right. So I was just curious
Yeah.
if that worked out for you or how you approached it, because a lot of women seem to do that.
And that's unfortunate because, you know, you got to trust, right? You got to have faith in the man. And I think you guys do need to be given a break sometimes here too. I mean, and it goes both ways. We have to just trust each other. I always trusted a man until I couldn't, or he showed me different.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it. And if I felt that I need to check up on you or something, or I feel that you're not being true in the way you say you are, and the actions are not meeting it, with your words, well, I don't stay in the relationship. I'm just out. I'm not going to stay in a relationship and try to make you miserable.
Mm-hmm.
That to me doesn't make sense. It's toxic.
You said something very interesting, and you said I trust a man until I couldn't, right? And when it comes to like dating, I think that a lot of people they're serial daters, right? So they go from one person to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, like never taking that time to say, let me just take a moment and just breathe and process these last 10 dudes that I went out with. And it was like, so it's like you just are carrying all this distrust and all this hurt from one person to the next. And you don't even give the next man a chance because you're just like, oh, that's a red flag. I see something I saw in guy number 8. Like, no, it's not a red flag. It's just you get to know people. Yeah. There was a woman one time when I was dating, and she said something. It was like day 2 of us talking, and she said something, and I responded, and I was like, yeah, don't be like other girls and do da 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 da. Like it was so insignificant. And she said, hey, don't start treating me like other women. I haven't done anything to you. And she was like, if that's how you are, then you probably need to take some time and do some healing and then come back online later. And I said, you know what? You're probably right. Like, and this was like a year ago, right? And I literally deleted my account that next day. And, she obviously got deleted too. And I just took like 2 months just to think about what was happening as I started dating again. But I at least heard it and was like, you know what? You're probably right.